So as I go over here, I'll direct you. So we're going to go to here. So we're going to fill in the glass down here. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get 2 soft brushes. I'm going to get a hog hair as well, and this one, and this one. And if everybody wants to come over and see this, you might as well all benefit from this. Okay, you got Winslow Homer. There's the piece there, so hopefully you have a good shot of that straight on, so you can see. So underneath you have, this is actually purple. It's Venetian black and white. So it's actually a purple system. It looks black, it ain't, it's purple. The opposite of purple is yellow. That's why they refract off each other. So I'm now going to take my little hog hair brush here, and I'll go to the glass. If you take a look at the glass there, take cyan, ultramarine blue mixed together. So the ultramarine blue kind of calms down the cyan. This is a red ultramarine though. So I actually prefer a cooler ultramarine, but I'll work with what I have. So there's the glass. Can you see that okay, Joe? The reason why you want to mix some glass, Evie, do you want to come here so you can see? The reason why you want to mix some glass is you need to see what is the glaze doing with the refractive light. So we want our light to pass through it, right? Bounce off the palette underneath and come back out. We don't want it to get absorbed. So there, look, I'm going even thinner. I can go thinner again. Look, there's even thinner again, look. But for the meantime, I'm pretty sure I need to be in that range for this painting. So then look how quick this is. I'm gonna film it. This is exactly how Winslow Homer did this work. And I'm going to go a little bit warmer, so we'll go back to the mix. The minute I see it, I go, you know what, I think it's a bit hotter. So I'll take my oil. And this time, I'm just taking the cyan, look. Just going to take that, and we'll take a look and see. Take my cloth. And I rub in my cloth until we barely notice the blue. Look. Now there is a wafer thin glaze. I think it's a little bit richer, so I'm going to go actually back to the blue. He could be using cobalt blue. These are the 2 blues that we have on our palette, so I'll just work with these. I'm fine with these being the blues. I'm going to drop this wherever I see it in the image. It's got a little dab of blue here. Just transitioning back like that. All of this has been glazed blue, this whole area. Okay, now I switch brushes. I'm going to go to this smaller hog hair here. Let's take this guy here. And I'm going to go to this. So we've got yellow ochre and we've got white mixed together. No oil. I'm going to check the sensation of this and see is it I think it's a little warmer, so I increase the yellow ochre, and I may use a little bit of burnt sienna, but I'm just going to check and see. I might not need the burnt sienna. Could you bring me over your tiny amount of burnt sienna, please? The orange one, just from your palette. Yeah, thanks. So I'm gonna work with this anyway, and then we're just gonna take, just throw it down there, please. Thank you. So we've got our hint of burnt sienna, and I'm going to still just work the yellow ochre though, look. So there is a glaze, but guess what? It's sfumato. There is no linseed oil added. So this is chalky, look. So that's going over like that, like a vague, kind of powdery effect, look. Okay, I'll take the burnt sienna then, very little burnt sienna, drop it outside. Can you see that there, Evie? Do you want to come around here just so you can see it? So there's the burnt sienna. I go like that, look. I don't go on top. Side, very little's on the brush, drop it outside, bring it in to the last mix. Now we've raised up the temperature, and I look here, and I can bring in this hint, look of this. So now that's gone much warmer. Do you see that there? If I think it's too warm, what does white do? White immediately depresses the power of a colour. So I bring my white in, and so let's say I want to drop the power of this. I now put white particles on top, and that lowers the strength of that effect. A hint here. There's a hint of red there. So the way these function is these act as little stepping stones into the painting. The heat of these. So you have this heat here, and by us making sure we've little stepping stones, that heat, it doesn't isolate us just to that area. Does that make sense? It means you have these little steps of the same levels of heat bringing you up to this is what's called scumbling. Circular motion, slow motion, this.
Scumbling?
Straight on, look. So look, it's one of the few times my brush is 90 degrees to the canvas. Most of the time I teach you to be that way actually. But here, you want hardly any paint coming out. And you're creating this really soft veil, like a smoky veil, look, of light. Like if you want to come over my shoulder a bit so you're straighter on here. So you're going to come to the side a bit just so you're straight on. The paint I can move to the side here. Then you'll see there's these rays of light, look. Coming down, look. That. So we're creating this sense of light in seconds. Look in the painting. That moonlight coming down. And the trick is there's so little paint in this brush. See that effect, look? Let's calm that one down, calm that down there. Then I'll go to this tiny little brush here. We'll go over here, back to our palette mix. Each brush has its own reason. That brush does that. The hog hair won't do it. It's the wrong thing. So this is why the minute I see it, I go, what key is it? What key opens that door? And in the brush set, you get the initial starting set, like the €50. It kind of covers most things, right? Here I'm holding the brush this way. Look at that technique. So there's very little paint on, touch down, pull lightly, and you get, see this broken pixelated effect? Because there's no linseed oil added, and you're just pulling very lightly. You are barely touching the canvas here. And it's catching on the grain of the canvas, and it gives you this broken light effect. You see it there? Okay, so I'm gonna go here. White, yellow ochre, hint of burnt sienna, but white is 90% what I'm working with, okay? And once again, I'm going to look at the painting and I'm going to see, is there any little bits of drama that could benefit from this? So that's see, they're quite bright and high. Here you're working with in focus, out of focus, sharpness, etc. And I think that's it. I don't think we need maybe just a little extension of light here. Yeah, and then Mike, I'll let you just film straight on it. And the last thing I'm going to show you is this here. So we'll take the soft brush, and let's say there's an area where I feel the blue is too high. I'll go just with the linseed oil. See here? I'll drop my linseed oil in. Look. Take my cloth, wrap it around my finger like that. And then I go back in and absorb away. Look. So what that does is the violence of the transition from the blue to the yellow is completely reduced. If I think, hey, you know what, I want to bring it back up, I go back to the blue brush. And I drop in again the bit of blue. And here. And here. It's too dense, right? So I'm going to fade it out. So we're gradually fading it out in this area. We don't want the transition to be so violent between you got blue and then all of a sudden it stops. Let's fade it out here. Same technique as here. This case I have oil in the brush. There I had no oil. But watch how the technique's the same. I go to the dense area oil, which is here. It's like an earthquake. There's the epicenter. As I go out from the epicenter, naturally the blue is going to fade out because I'm not adding extra paint onto the brush, right? So it naturally just dissipates as you go out from it. Okay, thanks a million, guys. That's a lot of stuff in a short period of time, but there are the brushes I used. You can see that was your detail one. Didn't use that. 2 hog hairs for scumbling, and then soft brush again for delicate work. Okay, thanks, guys. So that answers your question for glazing. Okay.
Scumbling.
Scumbling
Do you
is.
want to turn this off?
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.